to have you here. There are three things we are going to be doing today. One is to reflect on what we've done in our ALX System Engineering DevOps repository, because this is the last day of the repository. It doesn't mean this is the last day of Shell. You'll still continue to work with Shell. So this is the last day of the repo. I want to reflect on what we've done so far, and how do we reflect on it. I'm going to explain how to start Shell Basics again very quickly, and then the opportunity to ask questions. So that's how we are going to reflect on what we've done. Then for everyone whose Shell repository has not been built up to 200%, that is, if you have any tags, Shell Basics, Shell Permissions, redirections, filters, any tags at all that's not yet done, we are going to build it up to 200% today. And lastly, we're going to start preparing for C programming language. So those are the three things we are going to do today. So just to be sure, do we have anybody here who has not created the ALX System Engineering DevOps repository on GitHub?
Hi, good evening. Yes, so for myself, I have created a repository, but then I was not able to, complete the task. The only thing I did was just to, create the repository on GitHub. And the reason was because I was at the hospital, so I actually miss out on several tasks actually, and that was one of the tasks I could not do, and I've been having challenges meeting up with other tasks because of that break.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we've had one person who has created but it's not yet done. For the sake of others that have been asking me questions and said they've not created this repository but are not in this meeting now, I'm going to just walk us through how to create the repository again and how to start the tags. So let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. If you've done this before, so you could just look at it. Okay, so the first thing is to go to GitHub for that tags. Let's log in first. So this is the project, System Engineering DevOps. That's Shell Basics as the first one. That's what we want to do. Shell Basics. When we come here, earlier I've said that this project builds on each other. So as we are going to start C on Thursday, tomorrow is a peer learning day. As we are going to start C programming language on Thursday, remember that each project builds on each other. If possible, answer each and every single question on C by yourself. Try to understand everything we'll do for the first task on C, or else you'll just get lost from the start. And that's what I'll try to focus on, that you understand the basics throughout this probation period. So for these tags, they did not clearly say create a new repository on GitHub. They didn't put it anywhere that you should create a new repository. But if you come here, and it's not everywhere they will tell you create a new repository. As you move forward, don't expect that. What you are just going to see is that in the GitHub repository is going to be a new one you've never used before. So this is the name of the repository, ALX System Engineering DevOps. This is the directory and this is the file. So the first thing you want to do is come to GitHub here and sign in. So let me quickly sign in. So we have to recognize. Then you come here. Once you sign in here, you should see this place new on your dashboard. Just click there so you can see repository name. So for these tags, this is the first thing. Copy is the way it is, because if you type it out and you put this, you know, or you put a space, or instead of this dash you want to put this, your checker will mark it wrong. So just copy it the way it is. You can see I already have this on my account, so there's something I'm going to do now for the sake of those who would watch this later that are not here. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to rename this repo. I'm going to rename it. So I can come back now to my dashboard, click on new, once again copy it and paste it, and come down and click on create repository. To avoid problems, the first thing you want to do is to use a personal access token that you know is not going to expire soon. So you are going to create your personal access token. You are going to create your personal access token for this task. And how do we create it? Now I've created this repository. You can see it. When you create a new repository, this is what you should see. You can leave this first. If you want to understand what each of these things mean, I have a video on Git. So I'm going to go back now, and then when you come here to settings, this is how to create personal access token. You scroll down, go to developer settings, personal access tokens. Then I can create a new token. I can click here, generate new token, and say test, and then the expiration I should choose this. So I come here. This one is very important. This one is what gives you access to your repository. This is what allows you to be able to push to your GitHub and everything. So click here. The rest you could go on and seek them, but this one is very important. So I'm going to just mark that one and come down, come here and click on generate token. Then I'm going to copy this So this is the token now. Once you get your personal access token, take note of this message. This message here, take note of it. So copy this personal access token, keep it in a safe place, like Notepad. So I've kept it there. Now you can go back to that repository you've created, and here is it. So go back to the repo you've created now. Copy every single thing here. This thing, this one, copy it like this. When you press this button, it will copy. Then come back here, and paste it. After doing this, what we want to do now is to write all the commands we would need, so that in case you're using sandbox or SSH, so don't give you problems. So you just type git clone, https this. Now if you don't put your personal access token, it's going to give you trouble. So you're going to copy your personal access token here, and you won't just write git clone. So you're going to put it the way Git would understand, GitHub and Git will be able to understand what you're saying. So use our personal access token. Let's see the command once again. So this is it, your personal access token at GitHub, and then your username. So I'll come to my notepad now, paste this, and at the end of this M, no space, I'll put a at GitHub, then the rest is done. So this is the command to clone, this is it. Next thing I will do after doing this is to come here now to this tags. This is the tags, so I'll just get a sandbox. Let me use the web terminal to do this one. Okay, so from here now you can see my web terminal. Once you're in this root folder, come here, and somebody's please, if you're not muted, kindly mute.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
I can
Hello,
hear
good
you.
evening, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Please, you mentioned somewhere when you were talking about the GitHub accounts there, where you create the new token, the notes. I noticed you only type text there. Is it important that place must be text?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, when you want to create the personal token,
you can type anything.
Yeah, for that place they wrote notes. You type text there.
You can type anything.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Alright, so you come here. You come, where's our notepad? Now you see I've already done all this, so I'm just going to copy it, and then here I'm now going to paste. To paste on your web terminal, use Ctrl A and V. So this is it. I've pasted. Now I'm not going to hand type everything now. Press enter. This gives you this message like this one, then you're doing the right thing. So you've cloned it to an empty repository. To validate it, use ls. Now you can see our repo, ALX System Engineering. So you want to seed into ALX System Engineering DevOps. Press enter. Now you are in the ALX System Engineering DevOps. Now go back to what they said you should do. We are going to have this directory and then this file. Okay, but if you go up here, remember you're always supposed to read your general requirements. These requirements, please don't joke with this. Here it says a readme file at the roots of your repo containing the description of the repository, a readme file at the root of the folder of this project describing what each script is doing. So what it's saying is that the first readme file should be at the roots of our repo. What is our repo? This is our repo. ALX System Engineering DevOps is our repo. So when we say at the roots of our repo, we mean at our repo directly. Roots means the first, direct. So at directly inside our repo, we should have this readme.md file. And it should not be empty. We should put a description of the repo. So how do we do that? There are a couple of ways. This is how me will do my own. First, in my repo now is empty. If you look here, it says cloning into ALX System Engineering DevOps. Warning, you appear to have created cloned an empty repository. So by the time we add a readme file, it's not going to be empty again. For now, so how do I create my readme? There are a couple of ways to do it. But if you are going to put a description of this project, I wonder how you use echo to type a full description. So I'm going to use a text editor called VI to do it. So I've opened VI now. You can see readme.md new file. In VI, before you'll be able to type, you have to press I. When you press I, look down. It has changed to insert. So now you can type the description of this repo. You can type anything you like. But don't follow me and type these same things I'm typing, because this is not a description. A readme is so that people can understand what you're doing. So this is not a description, this is just text. After you've done this, press your escape key. When you press your escape key, this insert will go out. So let's press it. You can see there's nothing like insert there again. Now if you on your caps lock and press Z 2 times, say the first Z. If I press Z again now, it will save and quit. So it has saved and quit. When I list out what I have now, you can see I have readme.md file. So that's my first step that I've done. The second step is that we should create another readme file at the roots of the folder of this project. Which folder is that? Come down. See the folder 0x00 shell basic. So I'm going to copy this. Now I'm going to create a folder called 0x0 shell basics. I'm going to paste it on my terminal, press enter. Now inside this folder, we'll now seed into 0x00 shell basics. Inside this folder now is where I'll create my next readme file. And that readme file is going to describe what each of these tags does. So what does tag 0 do? What does tag 1 do? What does tag 2 do? you know. So once again, I'm just writing dummy contents. And I've created a readme and I've saved it. At this point now, let me clear here. At this point, you can, if I list out what I have, you see I have a readme file. So I'm in ALX System Engineering DevOps folder, and inside that folder I have another folder called 0x0 Shell Basics with a readme file. Now I can go ahead and create all the files I need using touch. So you could create all the files you need now. This is how I will do them. C tags file 0. I'm going to copy this and then paste it, space, copy this and paste it. But there is something, like someone said, if network disconnects you from your sandbox at this time, you're going to repeat this process again. So see the choice option here. I'm going to copy everything here now. So last time I didn't talk about this option. It was after Mr. Ade asked me about it that I remember that this was a good option. So it doesn't want to copy. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to Notepad here, Notepad, and then create all the files using touch. So I'm going to leave terminal first. This is file 1. I'm going to copy. You know, all of them should be separated by a space. So what's file 0? 0 current working directory. I'm going to copy it to this 1, 0. I'm going to go on and on. Let me reduce this screen. So basically I'm going to go on and copy everything. C2 here, bring me home. I'm not pasting it in my web terminal, I'm pasting it on Notepad here, space. Next up. Now this is a tip I do when I have to do things like that. I'll divide my screen into 2. Bring me home. Now I can also reduce my Notepad size. I'm going to go to 3 now. Where's 3? Only the files what I'm copying. And then I'm going to go to 4. Five. So I'm creating all the files at once. I'm not creating one, do that one, create the next. I'm creating all the files at once with one command, touch. 6. 7. Copy. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12, and for all the tags, this I would copy them up until I get to any tags I want to stop. 12, 13, 13 symbolic link. I'm going to copy that too. 14. 14 is the last mandatory tax. I'm going to copy that. So all these plenty things I've copied now, I will copy everything from the touch till the end. 14. Copy. Then go back here. Now I'm just going to paste everything. First, when you list out what you have now, you see I have only readme file on, but let me paste everything now. Press enter, then list out what you have. You see you have all your file from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 14 in just one command. So I've created all my files now. I can now start writing the answers. But then there's another law they give. All our files in the requirements, all our files have to be executable. Now to execute all the file, we are going to use chmod, which means change mode, u plus x file. So I'm going to copy that now and paste it. Now this file means for tag 0, you are going to write 0 current working directory and press enter. Tag 1, you're going to do the same, but you can do it, you can change mode of all of them. You can change mode of all of them in using one command by using this asterisk here. So this is how to change mode. You can see it, chmod u plus x, all of them. Press enter. When you list out what you have now, all are executable. Since our readme file, we are not going to check if it's executable or not. I can leave this, so everything now is executable. From now on, I'm done with all the requirements. I'm done. The next thing to do is to start solving the tags proper. And how do you do that? Write a script that prints the absolute path name of the current working directory. See what they are expecting you to do here. Your output should print out the absolute working path of the working directory. So you should tell us root ALX system engineering DevOps 0x0 shell basics. What command, what script, what text is going to print out this thing for us on your terminal? That's what they are saying. Some people say some of these things that we are learning, does it apply in real life? You know why you're thinking like that? Because this is what you do. You copy things and paste. If you read it, you would see how they make sense. What scripts print out the absolute path name? Tell us this folder, where it is and where it is. So the command to do that, let's check it. If you go on your system now and you type pwd, press enter. Watch what I have here. I'm going to copy it out. Copy. I'll paste it on Notepad now. After pressing pwd, I'm going to paste what I have here on Notepad. So this is what I have. After pressing pwd in my system, in my terminal, you can see that I press pwd. See what is printed out for me. Now come here. now let me copy this output it gave me, copy, and go back to my notepad and paste it in the next line. So you can see that they are the same except for the roots. And you know why it's not roots? If you notice, I did not cd into roots to create this thing. I didn't cd into roots. For example, watch this. Cd into roots. So I didn't cd into roots first off. Now I'm in roots folder. If I go ahead to clone and do everything, or let me just print out the absolute working directory, you can see root at the start. When I print out the absolute working directory now, you can see that I'm in roots. Copy. So the roots would have appeared here if I did this thing in my roots folder, but I didn't do it there. So you can see we have the same thing. ALX system engineering, DevOps, 0x0 shell basics, and then roots. So at this point now, you now know what to do. So I'm going to go back and cd into my ALX system engineering DevOps /0x1 shell basics. So at this point now, you now know what to write in your tag 0. The command is pwd. This is the answer. But when we go back to our requirements, it says all our first line should end with bin bash this. So I'm going to copy this now and paste it. Everything you do, your first line. In fact, even if you don't know the answer, just come here and make sure your first line ends with this bin bash and the second line pwd. How do you know how many lines you have? One way, this is your first line, this is your second line. You can see it here, line 2. If you go up, you can see it, line 1. Come down, line 2. So this one way. I can save and quit now. The second way, the way that ALX said is, you should use this command, this one, and it should be able to print 2 for you. So I'm going to copy this now and paste it on my terminal. You're not going to use file now. You're going to use the name of the file, 0 current working directory. Press enter. Oh, this is not among, sorry. So and that brings me to this point. You can see the error I got, say bash, this $sign, command not found. It will tell you the command. See the command here, it says this $sign on. It's not found. So I want to take note of that. That's how to know where you're getting errors. So now if I press enter, you can see what it prints, 2, 0 current working directory. So this command would help me to print the number of files I have, which is currently 2 in my 0 current working directory. So I've done all ALX, all they want me to do. I can clear. At this point, I can simply git add dot git commit with a message like first commit and then git push. So you can see everything now worked successfully in one hand. It didn't ask me for password, it didn't ask me for username, because in my Git project I've done those ones before. And because I cloned with my personal access token, it won't ask me for password. So I clear now. So from here you can now do tax 1. Tax 1 says display the contents list of your directory. So what command would you use to list out things in your directory? That's what they're simply asking. The same way, I'll just do vi1 list it. Our first line is always the same. Remember that. Our first line, even if you don't know the answer, just remember that your first line is this. So you're going to copy it, and then I have not changed to insert, and see where the bin bash came to down here. You can see that now. So I'll go to my insert mode, then so this is it once again, just like that. I'm going to add commit push. If you're not sure of what you're doing, add commit push. But if you're sure of what you are doing, do all, then push once. Any tags that gives you an error, you mark it, later you go back to them. So that's how to start these tags. From here on now, you can start answering the questions. Anyone you don't know, because this one will get harder as you continue to answer questions. For example, you don't know this one. Create a script that moves all the files beginning with an uppercase letter to the directory tmpu. So how do you do this now? You can go on Google and check how to move only files beginning with uppercase letters. You can search for that. It's allowed. This is an advanced task, by the way. It's not compulsory. You may leave it. You may leave it. There's nothing will happen if you leave it. Doesn't mean that it's not you it doesn't mean you're unserious. In fact, it's good that you go back, understand everything you did in the advanced tax, in the mandatory tax, before talking about advanced. So you may leave this one. So that's it. That's how to do it. The one you don't understand, Google it. But if you copy this thing now, you copy it like this and paste it on GitHub, you probably see a copy and paste answer that is coming from a GitHub repository like mine. So that's another way to get it, but that's not the best way. If possible, learn to search, so that once you have issues, your first thing to do would be to search. Google will answer you faster than any other person would answer you. Even your mentors will not answer all your questions. They will tell you they don't know, and that's it. It's allowed. We can't know everything. Google it, you will see it there. So this is how it's for the shell basic stats. I'm repeating it again for the sake of those that will need this later but are not here now. So that's that about shell basics. If you have any question, you can, from this shell basics, so you can ask now. Let me wait for like 6 seconds. Okay, I assume there are no questions. And so that's that about shell basics. The next task we did this week was shell permissions. Now when you come there, the requirements are the same. If you look here now, they didn't say what command you should use to make your files executable again. So some people will ask, how do we make the files executable? No, it's not everything you add. Some just look at it and you understand what the task wants you to do. The first one, what did you use to make your file executable? chmodu plus x, right? Do the same for this one. Now, a readme file are the roots of the folder of the project. So what's the folder of the project? See the folder here, 0x01 shell permissions. So I'm going to copy this. Now, if you look at this, let me see the backward ones. If you look at this, in this DevOps repo, you have just one folder called 0x0 shell basics. But now you can see that this folder is 0x01 shell permissions. So naturally, it should tell you that you make another folder and call it 0x01 shell permissions. This is what you have now. You should have two folders. When you cd into your 0x0, your 0x01 shell permissions, you should, the next thing you should do is come here now, see the requirements. A readme file are the roots of the folder of this project. So you are going to create another readme file inside that 0x01 shell permissions. You're going to use this Ctrl-A-V, press enter, and then describe what each script. So you could do 1, create a script, blah blah blah. 2, just like that. That's how to do it. Then after that, you can see I have readme now. The same thing we did last time. You are now going to create all these files, all of them. File 0, file 1. You could use the long way. You could come here, create this file, only this one. You could even use vi to create only this one. And then just write the answer. Go and save and quit. Then you chmod u plus x, and then you call it 0 tab, enter. You list out what you have. You say thank God. Then you do git add, you commit git commit -m, and then you push and you say thank God. You go and check your code, everything works. Then you go to task 2. You can do it like that, nothing spoil. That's what we are saying. But if you want to be faster, do that method I've done before, which I always do.
Sorry. Hello.
Hi.
Please, I have an issue. I want to git clone, so I git clone inside my current directory. So it now creates a submodule. So I'm trying to remove it back. They said I can use git rm --cache, then the ALX system engineering devops, but I couldn't get it done yet. Can I share you my screen?
If you want to remove a folder inside a folder, is that what you want to do?
No. I'm trying to remove a repo. Like I git clone the repo inside the current repo.
That's a folder now. What is repo? On your terminal.
It's a folder.
On your terminal,
folder,
repo is the folder now.
Okay.
So if you want to remove a folder inside, let me do it. If possible, try to ask your questions without sharing screen or screenshots. It's the most
Okay.
difficult thing to do. It's even difficult for me sometimes. But this is what it would make you do. It would make you understand it. When we get to C, there's a project called Debugging. They said sometimes talk to a doc or your cop, anything. Talk to it, explain the problem to it. Just be saying, hey cop, so I seeded into 0x01. Are you listening? Cop, are you
Yes.
listening? No, you'll be talking to your cop like this. I seeded into 0x01. Inside file 0, line 3, I have an issue that says no contents. So what do I do to fix it? By talking to it alone, you have told yourself the answer. You have an issue that says no contents. Put contents now.
Yeah.
That's the sweet part when you are able to explain your issue without screenshotting. It will make you understand the problem. You yourself will know the problem. So looking for the solution will now be easy. So for example, this is your problem. If I understand it, the way you explained it, if I understand it like that, that means you did a great job explaining it. So let me tell you what I understood. Inside this ALX system engineering DevOps,
yes,
inside one of these folders, you now went to git clone again.
exactly.
So let's do it live now. Let's do it live. You clone with your personal access token too.
Yes.
You don't want wahala at all. Fortunately, trouble caught up with you. So this what, if I understood, this what he did. Git cloned inside this thing. Now press enter.
Yes, exactly.
So inside here now you got something that is now your folder again.
Exactly.
Alright, so let's do this. Arrow M. So that means you're a very good explainer of something. Next time, now you understood what I did. Rather than talk about sub module, current module, external module, repo, I made it simple. I have a folder I'm not supposed to have inside of another folder. So what do you do to remove a folder that you're not supposed to have?
RM.
No, what do you do?
False.
No, what do you do?
Then I remove the folder from it.
So how do you remove a folder?
I remove by force.
Okay. What
That
command?
F. RM space dash RF space then the folder.
So it didn't give me error. Let me list out what I have. So do I still have that problem?
No.
So you can solve your issue now.
Thank you very much.
So I think we are done with shell basics, and shell permission is the same thing. These things build on each other. Then shell init. Basically seeing these 0x1, 2, 3, you should know there are different projects that require different folders. So like this 0x3 now, you're going to come here. I think this is today's zone. You're going to come here and then create this folder. You're going to create it in your terminal. So I can cd backward 1 bit. Now I'm going to create this. So you can see I have 0, 1, 0, 1, 3. I didn't do 2. So for all the tasks you're going to do now, you're going to do it inside 0x03 shell variables expansions. You list out what you have. Once again, there's nothing about it now. You know ALX policy. readme.md inside describing what each task is doing. You go ahead, do that one. If you have, now let me explain this again. If you have this, watch. I want to create vi0 of this file now. The 0 is alias. Create a script that create an alias. This is the name that will give the alias, and then this is the value. So somebody that have done these tasks should tell me what to do. I don't know what to do, to be honest. It's been long since I did that video that's on YouTube.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Alias means that you are substituting a value from another script that you use often. So instead of typing out that script that you use often, you are using another, like an abbreviation or something. Just to understand it. So for this task, now you're going to say alias.
Wait, it's now I want to start. I'm going to say what?
So you're going to just say ls is equal to the value rm asterisk.
This is all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So imagine I'm doing this now. You can mute though. So we don't get a holdback.
No, sorry, this is not how it is.
So how is it?
First thing, you start with the bin bash.
Okay, yeah, I know that. I'm talking about the answer.
Okay, you start with alias. We are starting with the alias command. The alias command, then space, then the ls. That equals to must be close to the ls. Yes, exactly. Now equals to the r. I mean, there has to be a column, a double column stuff. Well, after the space, after space again.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah. No, not this. The hyphen rather, the double hyphen.
What are you saying?
Normal hyphen now. The one, I mean, the small lines are the endings of letter, like when you.
I've done alias.
Quotation. Double quotation.
Exactly. Double quotation rather.
Where would it be?
This is exactly why they said you should stay in English class, not a production center.
Where would it be? Where would the double quotation be?
At the back of the R. At the back of the R.
This.
Then at the end of the asterisk too. Yes, like that.
Thank you. So imagine you were doing this now. Thank you so much. So imagine you were doing this. And something happened. Can this person please mute? Thank you. So imagine we are doing this now, and
please, let me ask this. Is there supposed to be space between the equal sign and the quotation? Does it have any effect?
What do you think? Does it have any effect? What do you think?
When I tried it, it did have an effect. So I closed the quotation with the equal sign. Then I was successful with my task.
So does it have an effect?
It did when I tried it. It did.
Okay.
So I closed the gap between the quotation and the equal sign.
Okay, so has that answered your question? Okay, he didn't say again if it answered his question.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So you have this now. You have this, and you're working on this. So remember, we've not added one line, but this is just what we are working on. And all of a sudden, network disconnects. So I'm going to close this terminal now. Network disconnects, that's the one you have most times, but I cannot just deliberately disconnect my network because of that example. Now let me go back there, see what the error will encounter. cd into ALX system engineering DevOps 0x03. Watch you. When I've come here now and I do ls, I can't see that file I was working on. But let's say I use vi0 earlier. So let me copy this. Control A V. So hey, see what I'm meeting now. This is a lot similar to what you would meet. Attention. VI has started calling for attention. It says there's a SWP file that exists already. You're giving some options. Number 1 is to open, number 2 is to edit, number 3 is to recover, number 4 is to quit, and number 5 is to abort. So somebody in the group said we should do arrow this afternoon. So I've typed arrow to recover. Any of this line, say if you type E, it's going to edit. Type O is going to open. If you type Q, it's going to quit. If you type A, it's going to abort. So I've done arrow because somebody said we should do it. So after typing arrow now, it says we should press any command to continue. I've pressed. Now I have everything back. So let me go ahead and put the first line. First line is always a bin bash whatever. Write it the way it is. So I think there's a hash here. I think this should be it or something very similar. The bin bash. Okay, so I recover though. Then I want to save and quit. Yay. I've saved and quit. Now let me list out what I have. I have 0 alias. Great. Let me open 0 alias. Bam. When you open it again now, you're going to have more attention. Found a swap file. The swap file did not leave even after you recovered it. So what do you do at this point? It's simple, very very simple. First, why is your swap file not showing when you use the ls command? Let me quit. Now I want to quit. So if you do ls now, that swap file will not show. If you've noticed, web terminal and problems. Look at the interface, very annoying. If you use ls, that swap file is not going to show. You know why?
As a spirit.
Something.
Because it's an Indian file.
Yes. It's a spirit though. It's something that is hiding. It's something you cannot see. You can't see it because you're correct. It's a hidden file. Any file that starts with dots is going to be a hidden file. For example, let me create dots spirits now. What's the command to create dot spirit again? Dots spirits. Let me list out what I have. Check if this thing I just created is there now. It's not. Any file that has dots as it's starting is going to be hidden. Remember dots, git ignore. So how can you know a hidden file? Use the ls. Who remembers the command to get hidden files?
ls.
Use LE or use ls dash al.
So ls-a will give us all hidden files. Just this. Now you can see your this thing I just did dot spirit. You can see the swap file. Now you can see the other normal files that you have. So at this point, remove your swap file. ROM. We are removing with force. You have to remove your swap file. And then if you VI back into 0, you're not going to have that issue again. Now, if you don't remove your swap file, but you also have the real file using that recover method and you push it to GitHub, it will work. Because look at what the checker is going to check for this file. So if this file is still here, it's going to work. But for you to see what you have in your file, for you to see it without the interruption from VI, then remove your swap file. So that's that. At this point, I want to start taking questions, please, before we move over to the next things. You can ask questions now.
Please, I have a question, quick one.
Yes, please.
So sometimes when you are typing here, the text will go back to the same line, to the beginning of the same line. What causes it?
Okay, what causes the text to go back to the beginning of the same line?
Yes. So instead of you to enter the next line at the bottom, to go back to the beginning of the same line. I don't know if anybody else has experienced.
Let's see if it will happen now. Yes, so the web terminal decided to behave very nice today. Everybody has had that experience. They asked me why I stopped using web terminal. It was because of that experience, and then because of this other annoying one. This one, see as it's shifting up and down.
And then there's this other one that looks like a greater than. And then there's this other one that goes back to the roots. There are a lot of things. That's why I actually stopped using web terminal.
So it's caused by the web terminal. For the greater than on, see if you do git commit, then it puts like a dash d, press enter. Look at the greater than now. It's going to wait for you. It's nothing you do again. You know why? All these things will take parameters as commit message, because you've not closed this your
what if you press Ctrl C?
I'm coming. If you all these things now, once you continue pressing enter, it's nothing you do. The greater than will be there because you've not closed this one. You know, so it's going to take all this as parameters. When you close it, it would now work. This thing is working now. It's telling me that I've not done git add. So let me do it. Git add. Then let me just do what I did now. So this in itself is not a bad thing. Look at the commit message. See as there plenty. It's not a bad thing. But most times you don't need it. So once you don't need it like that, what you just come here to do is to press Ctrl C. It's going to terminate that process by itself, and then you can move on. This will happen in your normal terminal. This is a command. I actually use this one if I want to git add, git commit, and git push at the same time. I use that, the asterisk. I want to add, commit, and push at the same time in one command. I use it. So that's not a bad thing in itself. But most times you don't need it, so use Ctrl C to get out of it. But for this one, I'm trying to see if it will happen. No, it's not going to happen now. Terminal decided to be friendly. For this one, it happens a lot on the web terminal, and it disconnects very quickly. If I just have a small network glitch now, it's out. So you have two options. One, you can use Vagrant best, or you can use the SSH method. Like me, I stopped using web terminal a long time ago. So use those two methods, either Vagrant or SSH.
Please, I have a question.
Please ask.
In fact, there are two. First, this one is the general question that most people normally have, fall into. The same with me. Whenever, if I get cloned, it happened, that was previously, that I get cloned with that particular repo, the name. So, but whenever I want to use that particular file, maybe the folder, if I want to push some work to the GitHub, it will be asking me for password, even when I've git cloned. So I had to change that particular one before I didn't have that issue again. And more like two people have asked me the same question. Please, I've git cloned my stuff. I don't know why it's asking me for password again. So I don't know why is that happening. I want to even ask, and what can someone do in order to get rid of it?
Okay, in our last class, I don't know if you were there, but I did answer this question. If you log into your Dominic, I'm coming on. If you log into your Facebook with your phone, would it ask you for password?
Yes.
If you log into your Facebook now as we are speaking with your phone, would it ask you for password?
No, because I've already opened the account until I log out before it can be asking me.
But what if you try using my phone to log into your account?
It's not possible.
So it asks me for password, David.
Yeah?
What would it ask me for?
It will ask for your password, maybe your username, something.
Now, what if you log out from my phone and you try to log in again? What would it still ask me for?
It will say ask for the password because I've logged out.
Exactly. Why is it asking for password?
That means I've not logged in.
Why is it that in your phone it doesn't ask you for password, but in my own, even when you log in with the password, you try logging in again, so it asks you again for password? Why?
Because it's my phone app and I have the account there. It's already been logged in on my own, so it won't ask for it again. But on your own phone, I never use it, so I need to gain an access by putting my password and the rest of it before I can have an open account.
Fine. You need to get an access. It doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Even though you have done it before, it still does not recognize you as the owner. You need to give it something that will make it believe that true, this is Mr. John. Until you do that, anytime you do it, so continue asking for password. In the same way, your GitHub needs to know that the person pushing to that repository. I can clone your repo using git clone, but it has to know that the person that is going to push to your repository is you. That is why you clone with your personal access token in the first place.
Yes.
If you make any mistakes in your personal access token, anytime you want to push, it would ask you for a password, which is your
Yes,
personal access token.
my own issue happened because I regenerate my tokens. It's expired, so I regenerated another one, but
Yes.
it didn't solve the issue.
Yes. That is also going to be another good reason. And if you generate another one, I've not had that problem before, so I've not really fixed it. But I don't think you can use a new token for an old account that you've used another token before. It's just like trying to use a new password to open your existing Facebook account. I'm not sure that's ever going to work. So maybe you have
Okay.
to delete and probably reclone. I think because when we are talking about token, it's security.
Yes.
So it's quite a serious business for Git and GitHub. So I think you may have to delete and reclone with that new one now. You have to tell Git it's me. So if you do that, I'm sure I know it wouldn't give you any problem if you delete and reclone with that new token. It's not going to give you any issue. I know that. If there's a better, simpler method, I don't know, because I have not experienced it before.
Sorry, if I delete an old whatever that key, that old one, if I delete it, it won't affect the file I have inside the particular something.
It would affect it locally. That is why, in the first place, you push your work to GitHub, so that when it has gone out locally, you can still have them. So when you reclone, you recover everything you pushed to GitHub before.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. So yeah, Mr. Dominic, please go on.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Please, before I proceed with my question, you guys have to permit me to ask these questions. They might be irrelevant, but permit me. I am new into the system, so I need some of these irrelevant questions to help me. So, a few questions actually. So my first question is, the last time before I was booted out because of network, we created multiple files at once. So I was actually looking out on how we can navigate into each of the files when we want to work on it or when we want to assign that particular task. So how do we do that? I know for a directory you use change directory and then the name of the directory you want to move into. But how do we do that for a file?
A file that you want to.
Yes, please.
A file that you want to what?
A file that you want to work on, like when we created the last file you created some multiple files, and then we've not answered them. You only created them before I was booted out. So I was looking out how you are going to navigate into the file to be able to answer the task.
Okay, if you were here and just now, I did that now. You enter your file using VI or Emacs, any text editor you prefer, or you could use Shell to use Echo to write into your file.
Okay. So VI the name of the file. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's one. Thank you. So for the README, so are we going to be doing README for every particular task that we want to answer?
every particular task.
Or let me say question, because
Okay.
mm,
The answer from here is describing what each script is doing.
okay.
So, what do you think?
Uh,
Are we going to do readme for each question?
exactly, yes.
So that's good practice. However, as long as your readme is not empty, it would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question is, do I have to commit or push my task on GitHub before my checker will accept it? Because I tried several tasks and I saw that it wasn't working. I don't need to get that clarity.
Yes, you have to push to GitHub first before the checker runs through your GitHub file or your GitHub repo and checks for what it's checking for.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so another one. So I noticed that, sorry guys, so I noticed that you still have all your ALS tags, even the one that we are done with them already. Like for me, for instance, if a particular tax is expired, I don't get to see that tax anymore. So I don't know. How do you do that?
Okay. All the tasks you've done except one that I've seen. But for all the tasks you've done, see them. Yeah, when you come to your dashboard, when you open ALX, you could access all the tasks you've done using this I here, I sign.
Okay. Okay.
When you click on it, you can see all the tasks you've done.
Okay. So what about the one you missed, the one you did not do at all?
Say one that this person did not do at all.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for tolerating me. I will work and make much of your standard. Thank you.
And so let me just add this. If you watch me, I'm someone that would tell you a lot to have fun and play. Look, see this person's VI 0, Emacs 0. Pointers, arrays, and strings in C 0. Static libraries 0. Even more pointers 0. Recursion 0. Malloc 0. Processor 0. This 0. This 0. Look at its overall average. Look at its overall average. It's shocking.
It shocked me.
Okay. So the next time I tell you that,
Please, can you show that again? Overall average, I beg.
say it here. Have you seen it?
Wow.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Overall, it's 4.89.
I'm gonna confirm catching with this one.
If you spend all your time do tax, one day you are going to sit down and then yourself, your mind will ask you, do you understand anything you have been doing since you came to ALX? You tell yourself no. It's your mind that is asking you. You'll not tell yourself no, I don't understand anything. Your mind will not tell you, you've just been wasting your time and your data since you came here. You better leave here and go to YouTube and download one HTML and CSS course that you can understand and leave all this ALX something.
I've been spending all my time doing tasks. There's no time to study. Please advise accordingly.
Before you,
Please also advise. Is it normal to still not really know exactly what you are doing? Kindly advise.
okay. So before you know what you are doing, you'll see yourself on YouTube. You see yourself here now, and look at what you are going to be searching for. HTML tutorial for beginners. You say I beg you. I know one person like that. I know one person. He learned from YouTube. He's working in UK now. He learned from YouTube. This ALS cannot come and kill me. One hour before you see you've downloaded this one.
Hey, my life. Oh.
See the problem. The person spends too much time on trying to do. Somebody would ask me, there is no tutorial for the advanced tasks. There's no video for the advanced tasks. Abba, wait. After doing 20 mandatory tasks, you want me to do video again for the advanced ones. Rest. Cannot do it by yourself. Rest. Go back to those mandatory ones and understand it. Somebody was telling me yesterday that which one? Every time I'm telling you my average is low. I've not done 3 tasks. I've not done 4 tasks. The only thing you are telling me is don't worry, I got you covered. And I was like, God, I beg you. Oh yeah, do them now. So calm down. Calm down. That's just it. The point is, relax. But look at these ones. 200, 200, 200, 200, 100, 153 points, 200. You see how they are now balanced? For the ones you know it and know it. Know it and know it well for the ones you know. At the end of the day, remember this: for every project you learn, your goal, okay, Esther, what didn't you see clearly? If you're here, if you're still in this meeting, just unmute and tell me what you didn't see clearly. I've seen your message. At the end of the day, your goal is to be good software engineers, not good students, because nobody would hire good students. Remember that for every project you're doing, your goal is to be good software engineers, because nobody, not even you, would hire good students. You will hire good software engineers, but even you will not hire good students. So don't be good students. Be a good software engineer that understands anything. The one you can understand it and understand it well. When I was still learning C programming language, I reached out to somebody in a previous cohort. That was my first time of reaching out to somebody in a previous cohort. So it was in C. And I asked the person, do you understand so and so? The person told me, no, I don't know C. The person was doing Python at that time. The person was done with C. But she just told me, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about C. I'm so sorry. And I was like, how you take pass now? Shane, I got the runner for you. So that's what you want to avoid. She said she had no idea, no one. It's not like I have limited though. But I had no idea. That's terrible, you know. So for every project that you do, try to get the general idea. The general idea. Now there's another big question. For all the ones that we do, can I know all? The answer is no. ALX requires between 70 to 120 hours every week. In a week, we have 140 something hours. In a week, let's just do it. 24 hours times 7. So in a week, we have 168 hours. And ALX are saying out of these 168 hours, if you're a complete beginner, you will need 140 hours. So we have 168. Let's do that now so you see what you're trying to do. 168 hours. And ALX are saying give us 140 hours. I know you saw 70 when you were registering. The 140 hours is hidden actually, but it's there. It's live. It's there, but they hid it. They didn't put it when you're registering. They said minimum of 70 hours. Directly, you will need 140 hours. So think about this. 140. 168 hours.
I've only slept 8 hours and 48 hours. I think I really need to go sleep.
168 hours and then 140. So let's do it now. 8. We'll carry 8 and put it down. Not those days we were doing maths in school. You carry 1. Then 6 minus 2 now. That's 2. Then 1 minus 1. So all we are going to do, ALX are saying all you have for yourself in 1 week is 28 hours. And then the human body needs at least 7 hours of sleep daily. Even though you're very good, your body does not react. Please know that cardiac arrest is real.
Hey.
Just know that cardiac arrest is
That's
real.
blast. I've only slept 8 hours, 48 hours. That's blast.
7 plus 7 is 14. So in 2 days, your body needs at least 14 hours. In 3 days, your body needs 21 hours. In 4 days, your body needs 28 hours of sleep.
Okay, we get the picture. Can you just enable us with shortcuts? Because to be honest, not everybody that can achieve these hours. Me, I cannot achieve these hours because of my special. I spend it on doing tasks. I spend so much time trying to decode all those tasks that I don't have that much time to study. That's where I am right now. And if I continue like this, God no go.
You start to watch HTML on YouTube.
So that's where each person discretion comes in. Each person discretion, that's where it comes in now. What would you do? You're the best person, you know your situation, you know what is attainable for you or not. You are the best person to answer what you should do. But this is the general point of it. For every task you did, you should be able to understand it to a good degree. Not everything. That's why I brought this picture out. If you try to do everything, you would break down. It won't work. And ALX knows that though. They know that. I listened to the co-founder speak, and it was from that point on I knew that it was me. I was looking for what is bigger than me. It's better to get 50% done and you can defend the 50% of the task done than to get 200% done and you can defend only 5%. So focus more on understanding any little one you did. That little one you do, you should be able to defend it. That's all. Then you are okay. But if you go too low, your overall average would go beyond 80%. and you are going to be evicted if after 1 month you cannot hit the 80% cutoff. So because of that, I'm going to introduce everybody now to this thing. I hope everyone is with the system. Let's do it. I want to introduce you to a back method. It's not a back method, but it's a method to help you at the end of the day as you are trying to balance understanding and doing what you can do. You should also make sure that you hit the 80% cutoff, and that's why I'm giving you this. So for all the tasks we've done before, if you are not 200% done with them and you would like to use this method, then get your systems ready now. Open Github. Open Github. So what I'm saying is this: for all the tasks we've done under ALX System Engineering DevOps for repository, and which is the other one, 0 day. Which one is the other one? The other repo that we've worked on, that Vagrant own, and tell me please, I forgot.
Is it 0 day, precause, permission?
No, the repo we've worked on, 0 days there, precause is there.
Course is there. Then
there's one last
one.
DevOps. All right. So 0 day, 0 day, precause, and DevOps. So for these three repo, if your project you're not done 200%, then do this. And if you wish, if you look at your average now and you have a little fear about your average, because that fear is well founded, then do this thing I want to do. So I hope everybody has gotten the system ready. Come to your GitHub. When you open GitHub, this is what you should see. If you can see this now on your GitHub, it indicates you can see this on your GitHub. Please just indicate.
Yes, I see that right.
Alright, then come here now. So right click here and go to your repositories. Your repositories. Now see this one. This is your repository, ALX System Engineering DevOps. Click on it. If you are here now, also indicate.
Share 100%. I mean, hey.
Then you can come to settings. Click on settings. Say this one you have. Come here. This place. Add a 1 to it.
Please, what about people like me that have not pushed any? So what do I do?
People like you that have not
pushed any.
Okay, you don't have this repository already. You don't have it on GitHub.
I have ALS Dev. I have that already. So
If you have it, follow the
Why do I
process.
go to?
Follow the process.
Sorry, I didn't. I actually missed that. Can you take me
Follow
to that
the
location
process
again?
I did. Number one, you can mute now. You can mute.
Yeah, sorry. What did you do? I didn't actually see.
Yeah, I said
I
you
was
can
trying to
mute.
open
I
my
got
eyes.
your question. You can mute.
How you went about that 7% of the thing, the processing or something? I didn't see it. I was caught up with something.
Okay, you can. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go through it once again. If you don't see it, don't worry. I'm going to make sure this recording comes out. Once you open your GitHub here, this is what you should see. Your top right corner, click here, this drop down, and come to your repositories. Click on it. Now, for every repository you have, your own should be pretty much straightforward. Most people's GitHub, you can mute please. Most people GitHub should just have 3 or 4, not this 25 here. So just click ALX System Engineering Demo, click this. Then come to settings. Now in this repository name, rename it, add 1 to your own. 1. Just add 1 and click on rename. Go back. After doing this, that's all. Come back now. Come back. So for everybody following me, I hope you've added 1 to your own. Now go back to your repository. The next repository is 0 day now. Right? 0
Yes.
day. 0 day. Come back.
Yeah.
Come here. Add 1 to it. 1. Rename. The next repository, you can already tell what to do now, so go ahead and do it. Go and rename it. I'm waiting. Once 2 people are done, I'll move on with the next listing. So the third repository we've worked on. If you already have 100 or 200% in all the tasks, or you are sure of your score, you are sure that you would meet up, don't do it though. So, but for people who are following, once you rename your third one, let me know.
So what about anyone you have on there? You shouldn't do that, buddy.
If you are sure of your scores for this 1 month probation, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you are not sure, do it.
Okay. Thank you.
So anyone who has done it, please let me know.
You said up to the third one.
Yes, the third one.
But sir, if you don't do it now, you can do it later now, maybe during the C programming. Like,
Can do it anytime you wish. Even if it's after
Better
this
do it now.
even if it's after this 1 month probation, you decide to do your own with your score ending 76% or 79%. You can do it. That is
After 1
if
month.
So shouldn't be doing this thing. She has been having 200 all the time. Why are you even doing this?
I wonder.
As in, she has 100% though. That's like 1,000, 295 tasks.
You better be careful though.
Don't worry, you don't get my time.
The music is course. She used it to chase course. She didn't pay my time. If your own is 200%, don't do it too.
So, is there anyone who has done it? The third one. Who has done it? You said?
She will update us. If you want to do something true, she will update us.
What about you? After now, I don't get
No, I'm
you.
waiting for you people to.
After now, I don't get you covered in quotes again. This
I'm
they
kind
got
of
you
weak
covered.
guy. I'm kind of weak guy. However, me, I'm done with my facts and I'm confident. But I just want to know.
Great. Alright, so let's move on. The next thing you want to do is come here and search for this guy. Search for me now. I'll soon put my link here. Search for Bright Daniel. So let me copy this. This is my GitHub repo. I'm going to paste it on the WhatsApp group after this conversation. Now, come here. You can use that link to get to me. So this is me, Bright Daniel. The repo I was working on since it's not my own. So this is me now. And here, once you're here, please click on the follow. Thank you. Click on the follow. Then come here. So once you're here, follow. This person is following. So I'm not going to click that again. Come here to repositories and search for the one you want. For example, ALX System Engineering DevOps. This is the one you'll be working on. Click on it. Come here. This place that says fork. Click here and click on create a new fork. This place, this drop down, click here and create a new fork. Okay, for this one it says I already have a fork of this project. So because of this thing, let me delete it. This thing should not ask me for my password though. I don't know my password though. So come here now. Rest. Yes, me sir. Where's that my link? Now come here, look for the repository you're looking for. For example, ALX System Engineering DevOps. Click here. Click on this drop down. Click on the plus, create a new fork. And then this repository name should tick good. Should be exactly the repository name with ALX on. It should tick good like this. Then come here and create fork. What this is going to do is going to make sure that everything I did 4 months ago in this repo is going to go to your tags now. So everything, shell basics, shell permission, shell redirection, shell variables, everything that I have on my own will go to your own. So this is what you want to do. Then do that again for the next project, for the next repo, like the 0 day. You come down, I think this is the vagrant's own. Many people had issues with this one, so yes, you can do it to actually boost your scores, no wahala, just to be safe. Click here, the same process, create new fork. You can see this person already has a fork of me. The same process, create new fork. Make sure the name is exactly the same and go and press OK. Let me just do this one again so not you don't have to follow this process. So this one, it's because I already have it before. Okay, so just come here. Where is that 0 day? It is vagrants project. So come here, click on the fork, 0 day. Make sure the name is exactly the same. If you see one, or if you see anything you see, please make sure the renaming is the same. Then come here, create fork. Do that for every other and any other repository you want to do that for. After doing that,
we've already added one to us.
Okay. So after doing that, come here now. For example, which one? Come here now and come to any of these ones, like your shell basics. Come here now, your shell basics. I'm sure the shell basics must have disappeared. Come here. You should see a button telling you to ask for correction in your own. Ask for correction, not check code though. Ask for correction. Click there and ask for correction. Let me see if there's any projects like this VI now, this Git. Okay, let me use this Git as a good example. Hey, see, this one is not working, has not been working since. This tax 3, you should see this red button. Click on it, ask for correction. That's all you have to. Don't click on check code or click on ask for correction. For as many of them that you see that is not working, just click on ask for correction. This button here, ask for correction. For all the projects that have disappeared from your dashboard, click on them and click ask for correction. The score should show you 50%, not 100, because this will be your after your second deadline. So it should show you 50%. So go ahead and do that for all the projects you've not done. Ask for correction. For all of them, shell basics, anyone you've not done, just click on that ask for correction. Then for any project that is still in your dashboard, like this one, like all this this one now, although it's going to be different from your own. For project that are still in your dashboard, so let me see. Oh, so some of these quiz answers will be annoying. So for a project that are still in your dashboard, you won't see the option ask for correction there. What you are going to see instead is check code, like this one. You're going to see check code, check code. For those ones, click on the check code for projects that are still on your dashboard. But any projects you cannot find on your dashboard, when you come here and find it, click on the ask for correction, like this VI. Click on ask for new correction. This is what you are going to see, ask for new correction. Then if the project are already on your dashboard, click on check code. Clear enough, right? That's clear enough, right? Okay, I would assume.
Yes, it's clear. Please, I got lost a bit at the part where you said to fork the repo. Can you please go through that again? And I just want to understand what we're basically doing is that it's like we're sinking into your work, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you come here to my repository, my accounts first. This is my account. No. Where's my account? You come, the first thing you want to do is to come to my account first through the link, or you search for me on Github, Bwave ICT. You can search for it on Github. You can do Bwave ICT. Users, you can see users. We have one, it's unique. Then click on that user, it's me. You can search for me, or you could use the link. When you are here, come to the repository you want to fork, in quotes, the repo you want to fork. So you search for the repo. For example, this is the one we'll be starting with on Thursday. So let he who has ears hear. Then you come down. All these are different repo I have. Go to only the ones that you want. So you come here, like let me say I want this one now. You click here. Let me not use that one. Let me use,
Oh, please use that one.
I already have this one. Okay. For this sake, let me delete it then. Because I already have that one, and you can forget about this part. Doesn't necessarily. I'm simply deleting a repository. So for people that used to ask me how to delete repo, this is the process. So go to settings, scroll down, you can delete it. So this is it. You come here, this one that you want now, click on it. Click on anywhere around this fork area. These are the people that have forked it already, 11 people. Click here. Make sure the name is exactly the same with the name ALX said you should name it. That's why I said the first thing you want to do is to rename your own. Because if the names clash, they will add one. Github would add one to this one. And then when you fork it, when you go and check your code, it won't work. The names clash, Github will add one. So make sure the names are the same. That's why you should first rename your own. Then you come down here and simply create fork. Just like this, that's all. That's all. After this, go here now and check your code. If you have the project on your dashboard here, then check your code. But if you don't have the project on your dashboard here, go to where you can see the projects. You can see the projects here.
Please help me.
And then I'm coming. Go to where you can see the projects here. Click on it. And then ask for a new correction. Anyway, would work.
Yes, I don't try it. It's working.
Yes. So with that now you can boost your scores.
Sorry, excuse me. I just want to ask why do we need to fork?
Why do you need to clone? The answer is the same answer why you need to fork it. The same reason why you're cloning is the same reason.
My own question is concerning this fork of it. I've been clicking the fork. It's just listing the people that have been using it. Do I have to click one of them that has the name, the exact name, or the stock must display the way you display it? Sure.
You mean you clicked on this drop down here? Here.
Okay, it's from this drop down. Okay.
Or you clicked 13.
Yeah, that was what I was clicking there.
Or you clicked, if you click here, it would work.
Yeah.
If you click here, it would work. If you click here, it would work. But if you go and click the number of people there, it will show you their numbers.
Okay.
Then you can also star the repository by clicking the star here, if you wish. So that's how to do it.
Sorry, please, can you just because I just came in a bit late and I'm trying to get the grand basic of, because why we need to talk and the differences between talk and talk. I don't know. I just make a short recall or recap.
If you want your scores to come up, fork the repository, and it's low level thing. That's what it means for this thing we are doing now. But going on, I want to have everything you did on your repo on my own repo. I would fork it. It's that simple. It's in its lowest term. That's what it does. I want to have everything you did on your repo on my own repo. I would fork it. So that's just why we fork. Like this one now is not part of ALX work. IBM full stack software.
Sorry, the option is not showing from my side, or the thing you asked me to click is not showing from my. I'm using the app.
Why? I'm on GitHub website though. I've not used GitHub app before. I have not used GitHub app before. So.
Please, quick question,
Good luck.
is there also a way to see how you solve that task so that we're not just copying directly? You can also like see how you came up with the solution. Is there also a way?
For which tax?
So I mean, like for the one you showed us now, is there a way we can also see into how you solve the task? So we're not just copying, but we're also like learning how you were able to solve it. I don't know if you get me.
Yes. One thing you can do, I do it a lot. I go and I read people's code, like this tax too now. When I see what you do, I open it. I open each of them.
Okay.
Then I view what you did, IDUN. So I could search what each of these commands do on Google to understand what you did. I can do that. So
Okay, that's better, yes.
I can see what you wrote, like this symbolic link now. I can see the code you did, and then I can compare it to what I did and stuff like that.
Yeah, so just one question from me again. Before we fork our tasks that we're not able to complete, first we'll have to ensure that they are being pushed right before we do that.
Just as I said, this method does not have anything to do with your push, commit, add. You just come here, fork it, go to your GitHub and check code. You are done.
Alright, thank you.
Sorry, can you just do like a sample maybe
Of
for us as
of
like a live demo how to fork on a SAM so that because basically what is going through my head right now is that maybe if you fork a particular project, maybe checker, the checker will usually check our scores. We won't see the checker know that we did such a thing that maybe scores lower or maybe I just want you to maybe explain on that.
I think somebody just did it and the person said it worked. I was thinking somebody was actively following me and I would have switched to the person's screen. Because for all this project I'm doing here, I'll have to go and re-delete them, which will take a lot of time. I would have used the person's screen to explain. That's why I was asking that people bring their systems, join with their system, and let's do it together. But let's see if I can do anything. Somebody here has done my ALX system engineering DevOps because this thing is showing 13 rather than 12 before. So yeah. So I know someone here is following. If you can share screen, better. But let me try now. Let me just try and see if it's possible. So I've deleted this thing. Let's say in ALX dashboard now, in this shell basics, I got 0. So let's say this. Let me check, start a new test. ALX system engineering DevOps, still connecting it as this thing. ALX system engineering DevOps. Let me look for it. I don't know from where it's giving me the 100. I need it to say 0. Okay, I'm already done. It scored everything and it won't delete it again. Alright. So, but basically, the answer to your question is that once you follow my step, your check would work for you. Nothing will happen. Checker is not going to see anything. It's more like a back door, and that's why I'm putting it at the end. I didn't want to put it at the start so that it doesn't make you stop working. All you have to do, if you fork any of my repo, all you have to do is just go and check code. You are not solving nothing. It would work. But you know now, you're here to learn. So this one should be to boost your scores. There are some people that their scores is 23%, 30 something percent. So, and you don't want to leave the program, then you can use this method. So that's the point of this method. So if you were doing it, maybe you would have understood better. I'm the only person who does not believe in watching videos. Once you want to start, I will start too. But you do what works for you, basically. I don't believe in that. If you are teaching me, I don't sit down and listen. I do it with you. When I do it, I also think about what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So if you were doing it with me, it would have made more sense. But on your own, because this video will be available, on your own, try to make out the best of it. So if this is the only place you want to watch in the video, when the video comes out, carry it to the end, and then you'll see how to fork. Go ahead, do that, check your code, it would work. If you see ask for a new correction, don't click check code, click on that red ask button. But if you don't see ask for a new correction, just click on check your code. That's that for that. It's clear now. Any other place you have issues, go and do this thing. Any other place you have issues. This person is not actually using my repository to work. I don't know which repository this person is using, but it's not my own. So any other place you have issues, this video will help answer it. Is there any other question?
Yes, quick one. Okay, so let me just quickly ask. This can also work, only the questions are the same, right?
Yes, and the questions are always the same.
The questions are always the same, okay.
So please, after doing the syncing of the code, what if you go to the task and you click code, share code, and it's not showing done? It's bringing a lot of failure. What do we do?
If you click on my own,
yes,
this thing, my own, it will never
yes,
give you failure. Never. Because I did mine. If you do that, it's simply because you didn't fork my own. But for you, sir, I have
yes,
already, you know now.
yes.
So
Okay.
so it's not going to give you that. For everybody who forks my code, it will never
Yes.
give you that error. Except if I didn't do the project. And if I didn't do the project, then it means that the project was not really necessary to me. What's my GitHub username? My GitHub username is Bwave ICT or Bright Daniel. Anyone that's easy for you to type it. You could search or follow this link here, Bright Daniel. So either you search for Bwave ICT or Bright Daniel, that's me. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Fumi, have I answered your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
But I'm checking out. There's a question I wasn't able to answer, and I left it, but I thought and I checked my code was correct. But I'm checking your own now. It's not. It doesn't seem to be the same question as mine. That's why I'm asking you if it works only when it's the same question. Just checking, and it's not the same. I'm still trying to find the question on your own repo.
After forking my repo, your checks, that particular question in your check worked.
Yes, it works.
That means it's the same question. So we just go ahead and find the question. Some of these questions are really similar.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. I think there was something I wanted to. There was something I said lastly I will talk about, but it's already very late. So I'm going to drop the link on the group now. Remember, from Thursday we are starting C programming language, and on Thursday I want everyone to be able to do something. I want everyone to already have a C text editor installed, so we can start from there. So, but we are done for today. We started by 8:06, and this is 10:17. So, thank you. I'm going to drop the link to the C video. Most of you must have seen it. If you're like me, that always explore all the channels of people I'm subscribed to, you must have seen that video, how to install C text editor. It's called Code Blocks. The one I use is Code Blocks. You could install VS Code or any other one. If people are having issues installing Code Blocks, I'm going to do a tutorial on VS Code. Otherwise, use Code Blocks. It's simple. What about to use VI? You want to use VI and write C? No problem. That's what works for you. No problem. This one is for our personal practice. But if you want to use VI, no problem. Can you install Code Blocks in Ubuntu? You can install Code Blocks in Linux. How to install Code Blocks for Linux? I don't use Linux, so I'm a Windows user. You can see my tab now, Windows, purely Windows. You love Emacs. You can use Emacs and write C. For your personal practice, you can also use it, no problem too. If you follow me, I love making things simple. So that's why I said Code Blocks. Anybody that wants to do hard things, that's okay. If you want to devote 170 hours out of 168 we have, you borrow 2 hours from God knows where to do your hard things, no wahala. Can you use Emacs throughout the project? Yes. For the rest of your lives, you can even use Emacs. It's just a matter of preference.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. You could even use Emacs to send emails. That my Emacs tutorial, I said it now. So if Gmail don't tire you, you could use Emacs. It's preference. You know.
I beg you go teach me our next class. I must learn about that.
Okay. Fome has taken note of that. She will teach you how to do that. So thank you so much. This is the end. You said what?
On my GitHub, please a quick one. On my GitHub platform, there's this fork repository, which I don't know about. I'm trying to remove it. Is it ideal?
If you want to delete a repository, just go ahead and delete it.
Okay. But it was forked from somebody else's account.
Probably it's when you went to the person's account to spy. You did something, and there are many ways to fork. I just showed you the official way. But when you try to spy, sometimes it would create a fork for you, Sha. So you can delete it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So we are done. Thank you very much, guys. See you on Thursday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so expect the video on how to install code blocks.